What is good, people? Satsuki the Savage here, and today I'm going to be ranking the arcs of Attack on Titan. Now, with me doing this video, of course there will be winners and there will be losers, alright? And what I mean by this is just because I put an arc over another arc doesn't mean I think the arc that got put at the bottom is bad, because I think all of the arcs in Attack on Titan are decent or better, alright? But that's just how it is. It's my personal preference. But with that being said, let's get started. Number 9, 104th Training Corps. What was good about this arc is that it had the perfect environment for good comedy and character fleshing moments. Unlike the other arcs, this one had no lingering threat, creating the opportunity to learn more about our side characters like Annie, Reiner, John, Ymir, and Sasha in a calm atmosphere. For example, we learn why John chose to join the Scouts, and we get a better understanding of how Annie views the irony of having the top prospects join the military police who are shielded within the walls. As for comedic moments, this is where Potato Girl is born, and we even got a rare funny moment from Mikasa when she lied to Shadas about Sasha farting. I have no real qualms about this arc at all, but it's a training arc. There isn't that much excitement, but it is what it is. With this arc being only 4 chapters in the early part of Attack on Titan no less, it doesn't have the chance like other arcs to really stand out. Number 8, Battle of Trost. Even though I have this arc near the bottom, we had a couple of amazing scenes from it. Eren's signature strike against the Colossal Titan, Mikasa punking Demo Rees, the fate death of Eren, Mikasa's glorious speech, Eren's reemergence as a Titan, and Armin's plea to the coward Kit's Wellman. Now, even though I love those moments, this arc as a whole doesn't have as clear of a narrative being told like the other arcs, other than showcasing the terror of the Titans. It's weird to call the Battle of Trost a setup arc considering it could stand on its own merit, but that's what I'm labeling it as. In this arc, we were introduced to key players like all of the members of the 104 Training Corps, Demo Rees, Luis, Pitses, and we also saw Eren become a Titan shifter, which set many events into motion. This arc did some good in the scarce amount of chapters, but overall, I don't think it's as memorable as other arcs. Number 7. Uprising. This arc was probably the most controversial arc in the entirety of Attack on Titan. Not only were fans divided on where they stood with this arc, but even the mangaka Hajime Isayama allegedly said in the period between volumes 13 and 16, which covers the majority of the Uprising arc, was when he felt the most disappointed with his work. Diving into the political aspect of Attack on Titan as much as we did in this arc, it was foreign territory and felt odd stacked up to the other arcs. Even though I enjoy expanding the focus to the government side in some respects, it was occasionally boring as it went away from the meathead Titan killing that we grew to love. Just like every arc though, the Uprising had gems. It hosted one of the best villains in the series, Kenny. Historia underwent a shit ton of growth. We got the Grisha flashback, Levi getting punched, and we got Hitch bodying John. The Uprising arc was good, just a little slow at times, but I think it holds up better now in retrospect. Number 6, the Female Titan. This arc is sorta odd to me, and I'll explain why. One of the biggest flaws of this arc is that some of the appeal of it was the quote-unquote mystery surrounding the identity of the female Titan, but in reality, it was plain to see. I don't think Annie being a female Titan shocked anyone, but Attack on Titan seemed to think it had people fooled, but even while failing on that front, I can argue this was a classic arc for the series. Iconic scenes after iconic scenes were the norm in this arc, whether it be the Levi Swaz demise, the fight between Eren and Annie, or Mikasa telling Annie to fall. Moments like this are still in the minds of folks to this day. This arc concluded well, putting a lid on a phase of Attack on Titan, while also providing lore and a question of why did Annie do this? That unknown made this arc all the more enticing. Number 5. Clash of the Titans. One of the more balanced arcs of Attack on Titan, which possessed great characterization and the meatheadedness that we grew fond of. Ymir is one of my favorite characters, so seeing her play a central role in this arc gave me personal satisfaction. Excluding that though, this is where we fleshed out our infamous traitors, Berthold and Reiner, plunging a bit into their psyches. The key moments included the traitor reveal, Eren versus Reiner, the Beast Titan Lurkin, Ymir and Historia's shipping fuel, Erwin's charge, and Eren using the Founding Titan power. The anime rendition of this arc greatly influenced my opinion on it as well, since I believe season 2 was the best season of Attack on Titan visually, so you pair that with a great story and it was a spectacle. Number 4, Fallish Sheena. It's strange to think of just the first 2 chapters as an arc, and maybe even weirder to boast a Fallish Sheena this high, but I believe Attack on Titan had one of the best introductions ever. When this anime hit the streets, it hit the ground running with just the first episode, which is the first arc. Hardcore anime fans, casual anime fans, non-anime fans were all in awe. In a flash, this arc was able to display a horrific world dominated by titans and set the course for a good old-fashioned survival/revenge story. What really sold the arc for me though was right before Carla's demise, where you see Hana's amped up, ready to be the hero and save the day, but once he saw that titan and that haunting smile, he turned tail and bailed. Again, I feel this arc did everything it needed to captivate the interest of the viewers with just one mini arc, and that's all you can ask with the pilot episode. Number 3, Marley. So when I first started reading this arc, I was a lot more impatient and closed-minded. So when there was a long stretch of these random Marleyan niggas that I didn't care about, like Gabby, Zofia, and fucking Udon, I was thrown off, clamoring for the old squad to show up. Current date though, my opinion flipped, as I think Marley is amazing. Even though the world building started in the previous arc, for the first time, we saw Attack on Titan from a whole different perspective in present time. Here in Marley, they were more technologically advanced, people weren't living with the threat of titans. However, a new problem existed, which was racism. For me, this is when Isayama decided to expand the scope of Attack on Titan, seeing through the lens of the perceived antagonist, and in turn, we started to blur the lines of good and evil. And that is just the first half. In the second, we had some of the best stretches of action in Attack on Titan once Eren decided to declare war on Marley. The best scenes included Eren stage diving into a crowd of civilians, Eren versus the Warhammer Titan, the new Servant Corps appearance, Armin's Colossal Titan transformation, Gabby, Merc, and Sasha, and much more. Number 2, Return to Sheena. This arc mostly consisted of one big battle that lasted only a day with the flashback, but it was all that I wanted and more. We reached the climax of the whole traitor ordeal, had cool Titan shifter fights, and we had the Grisha flashback, which flipped the world of Attack on Titan on its head. On the guilty pleasure side, I was blessed with so much, like seeing Erwin have his last hurrah, Levi once again proving that he is humanity's greatest soldier, Bertholdt growing balls, Armin's sacrifice, Hanji being useful for the last time, and the roots of the Attack Titan. And sure, this wasn't Attack on Titan's greatest arc for characterization or development or anything like that, but it was the curtains of the Attack on Titan of old, literally and figuratively, since we had a time skip in the tail end. This arc was my favorite arc of Attack on Titan for a long time, until the release of chapter 124. Number 1, the finale. Yes, this arc is still ongoing, but it's not only on pace to be the longest arc of Attack on Titan, it's on pace to be the best arc of Attack on Titan. In this arc, our perspective of right and wrong is completely disordered, and it seems as if the roles of our protagonist and antagonist have switched. Eren here is a full-on menace to society and a devil on a global scale. This is probably Eren at his most entertaining and intriguing. When it comes to his actions, Eren has iron resolve to follow through with them, and when it comes to his motives, we have an idea of them, but we are still left in the dark. Already, the great moments are piling with every chapter, but as I make this video, we have Eren versus Reiner and Porco, Piet's declaration of war, Gabby's redemption, the history of Ymir Freets, the reveal of the Attack Titan's true power, the rumbling, and Annie, free at last. Free at last. With the prospect of more to come from this arc, I put it as the best from anticipation, but even judging this arc as it is now, capped at chapter 124, it is still edging out at the top. When it's all said and done, with this arc being as great as I think it will be, we are going to need to have a discussion about how Isayama had a three-peat with the return of Sheena, Marley, and this final arc. All right, people, that is it for my rankings on the Attack on Titan arcs. Let me know some of your favorite arcs in Attack on Titan or the worst arcs in Attack on Titan in your opinion. Just let me know in the comment section. But guys, that is it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage, out.
Am I dying to live or am I living to die? Living a lie.